I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. The 3 days and the 4 events to save ATLAH that we did this weekend, the protest that we had again at the Smith and Walensky restaurant for 3 nights, Friday night, Saturday night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. And the one event that we had in front of the Madison Avenue Baptist Church on Madison Avenue on Sunday were 4 tremendous events. I'll tell you, it was just an exciting and exhilarating time. And I am thankful beyond belief that Almighty God allowed me and us, the church, to participate in such activities as what we're able to do, preaching the gospel, demonstrating our love for the Lord Jesus Christ, and being able to make known our message about saving our church from the thieves that are trying to take it down. I do also want to thank not only the people that serve with us, the people who rang the bell, and of course the carrying of the shield, of the cross of the shield, and the musicians, all of that. There you go. Thanks so very much, Miss. And that's a beautiful sight. If there's anything beautiful, that is beautiful. We have the man, young Honor, who's ringing the bell, and Jeremiah, who's carrying the shield. And then behind us, you see a line of people carrying signs, indicating our complaint against Smith and Walensky and against the judges as well. And I want to thank you for many of y'all logged on from all over everywhere to watch the event on both TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and I don't know where else the live stream went to. And thank you for our just organizing the live stream so that you could watch it. But thank you for your support. It's what I want to say here as well. I'm always doing the Mama Neal thing called, Mama Neal said that every day with Jesus is sweeter than the day before. And I'm forever reaching new heights, and I'm thankful to the Lord for that. And in terms of reaching new heights, in terms of the ministry, and I pray, while I haven't had the opportunity to talk with the membership in general, and maybe we'll have a session to discuss it, but I pray that the members are reaching new heights as well, that individually that we are reaching new heights. I've been in ministry for 40 years, and just every year with Jesus gets sweeter than the year before. And this event that we are spending time out in the streets before Smith and Walensky in the Madison Avenue Baptist Church has been a new high for us. And I'm praying about our spending more time out in the streets. And let me just say a word about my voice. I am, as a trained speaker, understand I speak from my stomach area, from my gut area, to use a perhaps more definitive term, and not from my throat. But I was on the street Friday night for 3 hours, constantly speaking, and at the top of my voice, because we were not using any amplified sound. That would have been prohibited. Now we could have gotten a permit. That's a beautiful shot. Keep that MSN. That's a beautiful shot. We're on the south side of 49th Street now, looking north. Smith and Walensky is just across the street. And so for me to reach them inside of the building, I used the top of my voice for nearly 3 solid hours, both Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning, and Saturday night. And so as a result of that, I did strain my larynx, I believe, a touch, and it probably needs some time to heal. We took 2 days off, which gave the media staff, who's done an extraordinary job of bringing the visuals and bringing the ministry to you wherever you are. Also had some time to rest and regroup, and we got a ton of footage as you can very well see, or you very well may know from the event. But I'm praying about spending more time on the streets. In fact, I just talked with a couple of my engineers about, or our engineers, I should say, about perhaps doing a prayer meeting from outside tonight. They're working on whether that could be done. I sprang that on them just a few moments ago. They have to think about it a little bit. And if so, we might be out on the street tonight in front of the cross during the prayer meeting. It's just exhilarating to be out on the street. I think many times we pastors spend too much time inside of the comforts of the church building. So thank you, Mr. Engineer. I think that the other thing is that though my larynx with cords that have been a bit swollen or strained, I take that as a sign from the Lord. We'll just take some time and slow down and rest. And that's probably what I need to do. But I promised to get back here today, and I wanted to get back here today. And I may not be live tomorrow. I may not be, because I first of all, I believe one of the great things that the Apostle Paul said that's been so effective for me is that I believe that all things work together for those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. And even though if you were logged on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, I was at the top of my voice. And I don't know who could do that for a total of perhaps as many as 9 to 10 hours, just constantly at the top of your voice. Well, that would strain anybody's larynx. And so sometimes I say, well, maybe it's a sign from the Lord that I should just take a rest and regroup. If you ask me, you haven't, but I'll state, I believe, and were I to confer with some of the members of the congregation, that the ministry that we did starting on Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning, and Sunday night was enough ministry to cover at least what most pastors or churches do in a month. We did a month worth of ministry in 4 days. And each one of those nights was worth at least a week of ministry. I never thought that when I first started doing ministry that I could even do this. I never thought that I could preach for more than 15 minutes at one setting. I never had that much message in me. I never had that much word from the Lord. And I not that I didn't have it. I think what it was is that it was not God's timing. I want to share this not with caution, but I want to share it with sacredness. I believe for us at the ATLAH Church and Ministry worldwide, now we don't have a whole lot of people. We got 1 or 2 people here, 1 or 2 people in Australia, maybe, that kind of thing. But we have to include them. And so when we say worldwide, we're not trying to indicate that somehow or another we got this huge amount of people. But I believe that for us, our life is just beginning. 3 years ago, I after coming back from our last vacation at Yosemite National Park, the Lord spoke to me and said that my life was just beginning. My entire life was just beginning. Not just my ministry, but my life was just beginning. And over the time since he said that 3 years ago, there's several things about my life I realized that I had not lived, and now I understand. But he said to me, my life was just beginning. But I believe that God's love for the members of the ATLAH Church is of such. What he does through me, he does for them. And I believe that for the members of the ATLAH World Missionary Church, that their lives, or lives, plurally, is just beginning. Now, we want to give God the praise that Esther Bennett had a successful, I would call minor surgery in and out on was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, yeah, on Monday. And she's doing well. She's at home recuperating. But for the most part, I think our lives for all of us, no matter what our age is just beginning. And the Lord gave us during this celebration, he gave us the birth of Emerald Rose. If y'all haven't seen Emerald, she came to church Sunday. She was here for the first time on Sunday. Emerald Rose was. And we had a great time with her. And God has set her as a sign. And I believe from the oldest to the youngest, to Mother Jubilee Cooper and others, that our life is just beginning. Our experiences are just beginning. And I would say to the women with the birth of Emerald Rose that no matter what your age is, your life is just beginning. Now, you may have some kinks in your life. You may be working through some issues or some problems or some illnesses, but your life is just beginning. And for all of us, our lives is just beginning. As God spoke to me 3 years ago, and I said for me, but it's for all of us. And I think the other thing I would want to say to all of us is that all of our past is now behind us. Our past, especially the sad and the ill parts, the wrong things that we did, the foolish things that we did, the crazy, crazy, crazy things that we did, the unproductive things that we did, the hurtful things that we did, they are now fully and completely behind us. All of us and our life is if we have been not only been born again of the Holy Ghost, but we have been born again of the vision. And all of our lives, all of our hurtful things, crazy, sinful things that we did for the entire church, from the youngest to the oldest now, the young people like Naomi, well, she's only been living about 4 or 5 years, so she doesn't have a lot to be behind her, but even all of that is behind her. And the fact that she doesn't have a present and strong father, Naomi, in her life and in her home, that should be behind her. There should be a strong, godly, righteous man ready to step up and to be a father to Naomi. You get the idea. And what I'm saying to all of us, members of ATLAH, and to everybody else listening, I believe there are people who are members of ATLAH. They probably have never put their names on the roll, but they are indeed members of the congregation in the heart of God. And that's what's most important, whether your name is on the roll or not, in the heart of God. And if ATLAH is in your heart and you've been born of this spirit, then yes. But I believe that all of us, from the youngest, from Emerald Rose to the oldest, Mother Shekinah, that our lives are just beginning. And I want to urge everyone to not pay any attention to the flesh or to your birth date in terms of for many, many years, I wouldn't even celebrate my birthday. And I still don't to a large degree. And I tried to, for some time, encourage people not to celebrate their birthday, mainly because it was generally in the sense that you're getting older. And that's one of the things that I didn't want people to begin to think about themselves somehow or another, that they're getting older, because every year you're getting older, possibly uglier. Now, I didn't have to say that, but I did. Pastor Madden, he likes to put one in every now and then. But I think that what is important is that our lives of sorrow and pain are behind us. And before us is this beautiful vista called the vision of ATLAH. And it was 3 years ago that God spoke this to me. And as I said, that it is for all of us. It's for every member of the congregation, from the youngest to the oldest, that our lives are just beginning. There are probably some things that we are going to need to work out. I have been working on the health issues as much as I possibly can. And you probably saw my tweet on yesterday regarding plan to live, plan your next 5 vacations. I pray that you've done that, because by doing that, it releases the healing power. It releases the will to live by planning, making plans for your life, it releases the will to live. And of course, some of y'all are making plans to die. That's not a good idea. Don't make plans to die, make plans to live. I sent that out on yesterday. By the way, we want to give a great big shout out to our very skilled minister of music, Christian Williams, who just did an extraordinary job of capturing on photographs the four protest events on all 3 days. She did an extraordinary job and caught me in some really good moments that we experienced. But I want to say this to you that we are just beginning, and we are forming pretty much from the past 3 years a new, not a new church, I don't want to put it that way, but a new organization. There's been new talents that's been flooded into our church. There have been new marriages and new weddings and new engagements and new relationships and new births have happened inside of our church over the past 3 years. Not that those kinds of things didn't happen previously, but somehow or another, God has brought us to the newness of life, to a new, and it's all because of the vision. And it most probably has to do with the tribulation as well, that God has somehow or another isolated us. But I want to say to all of the members of the church that are near and far and wide, that this is a new beginning for us. This is indeed. If someone asks you how old you are, tell them you're only 3 years old. Well, you may not tell everybody that, because you tell somebody that, they might think you lost off your rocker, you lost your marbles or something. But you get the idea. And that the old things have passed away, and behold, all things are new. And the ministry that we did this weekend, there's several things about this we want to discuss as the time goes on. Let me check with my engineer to see if we got that piece from Smith and Walensky. If you'll give me a time frame on it so I can judge. How many? 24 minutes long? Starting at the, all right, okay. I'm going to, at least I want to play a segment of a prayer that I did before on 49th Street. And so I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But I want to say that that all things are behind us now. And that all the things that are before us are all of the prophecy and all of the vision. And to be out on the street the way we were was just an extraordinary time. And we need to begin to understand that it is for the purpose of the vision. And I don't know, perhaps I will ask some of the members, and maybe y'all can, rather than I'll have a session together. But you can send tweets or send notes, feedback, .org or ATLAH at feedback, whatever it is, ever how that's done, you'll know how to find it online. And tell me about a time of refreshing. And one of the questions I would like to ask about being out on the street while we were there, and by the way, I want to give a shout out to Brother Eric Miller. Brother Miller, and he's always on the case. Brother Miller watched, I think, probably most of the online streaming, and made some comments as well. Sister Kane was fighting with some crazy woman on there, or make some crazy comments. I think Sister Kane and somebody, Brother Miller, trying to straighten them out. He said, Pastor Man, are these your two favorite people in the world? Listen, man, they just online all the time. What do you want me to do? Ignore them? But I want you to answer a couple of questions. How did you feel about those 3 days and 4 events. And one of the things I want to ask, did you feel spiritual? And did you feel safe? And did you feel secure? So let's look at that as a 3S question. Did you feel spiritual? How did that feel compared to church worship, right? Did you feel spiritual? Did you feel safe? Even though there were people all around us, nightfall came, police and others, did you feel safe? And even if you weren't on the street, I believe that those of you who are online watching, you felt as you were, some of y'all who know me well, you've been with me now for years online, though you've never been in the building, you feel every time we worship, you feel very much that you're a part of it. Did you feel safe out there? The engineer is going to try to give you some photos to give you an idea. And did you feel sacred? All of you. I'd like to hear your responses to that. How did you feel out there? Were you embarrassed? Why don't you write me a little note and tell me, Pastor, on Friday night I felt this way, and on Saturday night I felt that way or this or that or the other. Or when I saw you talking to the police, when I saw the young people standing there, and then those of you who were there who maybe got a little bit better view of things that the camera didn't pick up, though our cameraman got just about everything you could possibly get. How did you feel about that event? Could y'all take some time today, tomorrow, and to tell me about that? I knew we were outside. That much I knew. But I felt the presence of God as God had turned our space into a sanctuary. How can I say this? That's me on my knees. That's got to be one of the classic shots. That's the south side of 49th Street. I'm down on my knees. I think I stayed there for 10, 15 minutes on my knees on the street. I don't know if I would ever have done that. One of the things that was encouraging, of course, for me to get down on my knees like that in the street was Isaiah chapter 20, where, Isaiah, the prophet, walked around for 3 years naked. All right, listen, here's what I'm going to do. Y'all write to me, okay? Write to me and tell me if you're online, you were watching from online, did you feel, I felt that it was a sanctuary in the street. That's what I felt. The music, what I want to do now is I'm going to, I want to bring up a segment where I knelt, and they're telling me I was on my knees for 20 minutes or so. Who? Is that on the? I want my engineer's talking to me, but we have just a moment. So hold that, Mr. Engineer. Hold it right there. I want you to tell me what you thought about it. Can you do that? You can do it. What do they do? At feedback.org? Is that the best place to go? Go to ATLAH Media Network or ATLAH World, ATLAH.org, and then they can find feedback. Is that where they can do? Is that the best place to do it? Go to ATLAH.org and then find the segment at the site that says feedback, and tell me what you thought about the event. I just felt that I was in church. But I tell you, I felt more powerful. I felt very bold. I felt a godly boldness. I felt that I think the engineer's going to put, feedback and commentary, prayer requests, press contact. All that's where? At ATLAH Media Network? Is that ATLAH.org? Is that the same as ATLAH.org? So you go to ATLAH.org, then you go to ATLAH Media Network, right? Okay. So y'all will find it, right? I'm not all that good at computer stuff. Everybody knows that. But at any rate, let me know what you think. And we're going to go back again. We're planning on going back again this weekend with the same routine. We certainly need to go back down there and see Reverend Susan again. You know that woman, they locked me out. They locked the doors of the church and wouldn't let me go in there. At the Madison Avenue Baptist Church. They actually locked the doors. They did. But what I want to do now is that I'm trying to cue this up. I was on my knees for, I don't know for how many minutes I was on my knees praying. And God gave me the strength to just kneel in prayer. And I'll give a little bit of a hint to the people at Smith and Walensky who saw me and everybody else. I spent a lot of time on my knees every day, so this was no real big deal. Okay, this is on 49th Street, Smith and Walensky Restaurant, the Watering Hole of Warren Buffett, and his restaurant. This is Warren Buffett's restaurant, and I'm there in front of the restaurant. I read Psalms 37, praying that Warren Buffett would release the vicious foreclosure attack against our church. And so I knelt in prayer, asking God to touch the hearts of our members and to know and be encouraged that God is still on the throne and not Warren Buffett. Though he's on a gold throne, I don't want to tell you what kind. Go ahead, Mr. Engineer.
Fret not thyself because of Smith and Walensky's evil doings. Fret not thyself because of Smith and Walensky's cold states and cold-blooded. Fret not thyself. And anyone to do evil, for evildoers like Smith and Walensky, foreclosing a church in Harlem, shall be cut off. But those that wait on the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. For the wicked plotteth against the just, the poor being plotted against by the blood-sucking rich, and they gnasheth upon the poor with their teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out their judges, their shyster lawyers, their blood-sucking banks. They've drawn out their sword and have bent their bows to foreclose and cast down the poor and the needy. The Mellon Bank and Smith and Walensky, we don't need no badges. We don't need no stinking badges. The Mellon Bank, Smith and Walensky, drawn out their swords against the poor. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. A little that a righteous man have is better than the riches of Warren Buffett, Smith and Walensky, and the Mellon Bank. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken. But the Lord upholdeth the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the day of the upright. Their inheritance shall be forever. They shall of lambs. They shall consume into smoke. They shall consume away. The wicked borroweth, payeth not again. But the righteous showeth mercy and giving. But you can't get no mercy from Smith and Walensky. You can't get no mercy from this place. They don't show no mercy. Like they cuss me out. For such as be blessed, of him shall inherit the earth. They that be cursed of him shall be cut off. Of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. I have been young, and now I'm old. Yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor a seed begging bread. He is ever merciful, and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil, and do good, and dwell forevermore. For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever. But the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land, and dwell therein forever. The mouth of the mouth of the righteous speak wisdom, but the tongue and his tongue talketh of judgment. The law of his God is in his heart, and none of his steps shall slide. The wicked watches the righteous like y'all are watching me, and seeketh to slay me. But the Lord will not leave me in your hands, nor condemn me when I'm judged. Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked cut off, Walensky in great power, dining with Warren Buffett, spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yet I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man. Behold the upright. For the end of that man is peace. But the transgressors shall be destroyed together, and the end of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord. He is their strength in a time of trouble. And the Lord shall keep them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him.
the Mellon Bank, to Judge Bluth, and to Judge Francis A. Kahn III. We shall not be moved.
We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Sing it. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved.
In the midst of war we fight on, standing on the word of God we stand strong.
We shall not be moved.
We're not afraid and ain't backing down. There's a new sheriff here in this town.
We shall not be moved.
You can try, but you won't succeed. The time is drawn closer when you will bleed.
We shall not be moved.
For God to have mercy on your poor soul, you'll find out soon you're not in control.
We shall not be moved. Singing, we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Singing, we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved.
You push me, you better be prepared, 'cause I'm not gonna run and no, I'm not scared.
We shall not be moved.
We're gonna tear your kingdom straight down, and when we're done, you won't be around.
We shall not be moved.
We don't even know this battle is the Lord's. We stand on His word and we hold His sword.
We shall not be moved.
You better leave town and do it right now. You curse our holy word that we will all out.
We shall not be moved. Singing, we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Singing, we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Singing, we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Singing, we shall not be moved. 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 We shall not be moved.
Dance it up now.
We shall not be moved.
Clap with us now.
We shall not be moved.
Sing with us now.
We shall not be moved.
Come on now.
We shall not be moved.
Come on now.
We shall not be moved. 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 We shall not be moved.
Pastor Manny now.
We shall not be moved.
Mother Manny now.
We shall not be moved.
All the elders now.
We shall not be moved.
All the mothers now.
We shall not be moved.
Come on, stop your feet.
We shall not be moved.
Come on, clap your hands.
We shall not be moved.
Sing it.
We shall not be moved.
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 We shall not be moved.